Hi, this is Munson with Munson Music, and we're going to talk about how you can play a song called Gimme Some Lovin' by the Spencer Davis Group. And it starts out with this cool little bass lick where you can play 5th fret on the D string and then go to 3rd fret on the low E string. So we're going 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 3, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 3, kind of around a G note. And we do that a lot kind of on that intro part. And then you kind of hear the organ come in with the high E on the 1st fret, and then open E, and then 1st fret on the high E, open E, and then 3rd fret on the B. So you could kind of even just use that low E string on the 3rd to kind of work that out too, actually, or even kind of adding in extra basses. And I'm doing that hybrid picking, kind of using the pick for the bass and kind of using my fingers for the other notes of the lick. But you may want to kind of play around with that. That might be cool. Kind of working it that way. And the chord that would back up that intro would start on a G major chord. When we play G major, first finger goes to A on the 2nd fret, 2nd finger on the low E string 3rd fret, and 3rd finger on the high E string 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord, and it sounds really happy. Now you may also want to think about putting the 3rd finger on the B string on the 3rd fret, pinky on the high E string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that's another way you could play your G major through the song. Or you could use a bar chord or a power chord for the G, and do 1st finger on the low E string on the 3rd fret, 3rd finger on the A string on the 5th fret, or just the E and the A strings as kind of that G5. It can sound really cool, kind of doing some muting and some downstrokes. Or you could even use kind of a G major bar chord and do your 1st finger across the entire 3rd fret, 2nd finger on the G string 4th fret, 3rd finger on the A string 5th fret, and the pinky on the D string on the 5th fret. And if you strum all those together, that's another way you can kind of work your G major chord through the song. And on that intro, you may want to kind of gravitate to just kind of those downs. Or a lot of times with a song like this, I like to use something called a strum pattern. And one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, down, up. So we took the G and just tried that a lot. You'd have down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, down, up, down. And another variation that could be kind of cool through the song would be kind of a down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, where you can alternate between those ideas. And we basically keep that going for our intro until you'll kind of hear the chords start changing for the verse. And we start off on the G major chord, but you could kind of stay on G. Or you could alternate to a C major chord. And the way we play C major, 1st finger goes to the B string on the 1st fret, 2nd finger on the D string 2nd fret, and 3rd finger on the A string 3rd fret. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds a C major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. Now, while you're on C's in general, it can be kind of cool to lift off the 1st finger and make that a C major 7th chord. Or you could take the pinky and add it in on the B string and kind of make it a C major 9. Or another way to play C major 9 would be doing 1st finger on the D 2nd, 2nd finger on the A string 3rd, 3rd finger on the B string 3rd, and the pinky on the high E 3rd. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, that's another way you could kind of play your C as a C major 9. Or you could use a C5 power chord, where you do the 1st finger on the A string 3rd fret, 3rd finger on the D string 5th fret, and kind of strum just the A and the D string. Or if you're digging on the bar idea, you could do it as a 3rd fret bar, 3rd finger over the D, G, and B, and kind of work the C major that way. So it's kind of cool because it almost sounds like we kind of start halving our strum pattern. So you may want to kind of work it as kind of a G with a down, down, and then kind of hit the C with the up, down, up through that part. So kind of a G, down, C on the up, down, up, 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 G, down, C on the up, down, up. And we end up doing that 10 times, actually, once that chord change kind of starts, until we hit our chorus. And on our chorus, we start on the G major chord, but then we go to a B flat major chord. And you could do this as kind of a 1st fret bar, 3rd finger over the D, G, and B strings, kind of on the 3rd fret, and kind of work it that way. Or you could use a B flat 5, where you do 1st finger on the A string on the 1st fret, 3rd finger on the D string 5th fret, and kind of work the B flat 5 that way. Or you could make it a smaller B flat and do 1st finger on the high E 1st fret, 3rd finger on the G string 3rd fret, pinky on the B string on the 3rd fret, and kind of work just the top 3 or the top 4 strings for a B flat chord. And then from the B flat we go to a C major chord, and then from the C we go to an E flat major chord. Now if you're digging on the bars, a good way to do this is kind of do that B flat as the bar, C is a bar, and then you can take that shape and slide it up to 6th fret and 8th fret. So I got 6th fret bar, 3rd finger over the D, G, and B, or you can use an E flat 5 power chord and do 1st finger on the 6th on the A, 3rd finger on the 8th fret on the D string, kind of work E flat 5 that way. Or you could kind of take the D major shape, or that you may know, and slide it over 1 fret. So you'd have 1st finger on the G 3rd, 2nd finger on the high E 3rd, 3rd finger on the B string 4th, and kind of like that for your E flat major. And then from the E flat major, then we end up going back to kind of a G major and then a C major idea, and kind of working that for the end of the chorus. So we try our chorus with our strum pattern. We have the G, E flat, C, E flat, G, C, G, C, G, C, and then we kind of tag it with kind of that G major chord, or you may want to kind of go back to that intro, kind of that 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 3 can be a cool thing to bring back. Now something else I think about adding to the song though is bass notes. And a lot of times on that first down, or the down, down, up, up, down, up, you can throw a bass note for the chord. So on the G you'd have low E for the bass, on the C you'd have the A for the bass, on the B flat you'd have the A for the bass, and on the E flat you'd have the A for the bass. And if you kind of work in the smaller versions, you may have to kind of fake that somehow. So if we tried that through our next verse, you could kind of work that as kind of that G, low E bass, low E bass, kind of for the intro. Or you could kind of throw basses in with when the verse starts, you could kind of throw basses in with the verse. And have G with low E bass, C, G, C, G, down, up, down, G with low E bass, down, C, up, down, up, G, C, G, C, G, C, we'll basically be repeating that until we get to our next chorus. And then we got our G, E flat, C, E flat, G, C, G, C, G, C. And then we kind of tag it with that G major, which you kind of hear that intro lick coming back. And we want to kind of bring back that lick at the end of the verse chorus, or the chorus. Into our intro part again, kind of working that G. Or you could play around with kind of that organ idea too. So that could be kind of a cool idea to kind of bring that back too. Or you could even try that strumming actually kind of around the chord. Might be kind of a cool idea. And I'm kind of faking that G now with the 2nd finger on the A string 2nd, 3rd finger on the low E string 3rd. Kind of working almost like a G7 idea. Kind of using my pinky to kind of get it with my 1st finger kind of around that G. So we'll kind of play around with that too. And then from that intro return, then we go back into our verse chorus. So back to our G, C, our last chorus. So now we're G, E flat, C, E flat, G. Or if you know the licks around these chords too, you know, feel free to kind of throw them in. Mix up this lesson any way you want. Kind of fade out on the kind of that G and C. And I think at the very end I play a big G major. Make people clap at the very end. But that's the basics of how you can strum through Gimme Some Lovin' by the Spencer Davis Group. So good luck!